Hello and welcome to another episode of Crizzy Books. I'm Crizzy, or Criz, but only my homeboys call me Criz. And today I'm going to be talking about a sore subject. Books that were big old disappointments for me. I'm the type of person who gets really excited when I find a new book, especially one that's been hyped up by other people and everybody says, you gotta read this, it's so great. And then I read it and it's just a big fart noise. It's just not anything like what I was expecting, and I really kind of am lost or feeling left out because I don't love it and everybody else loves it. It's a shitty feeling. So I thought I would put together a list of 5 of the biggest disappointments for me when it comes to books, and then I have a couple honorable mentions as well. So starting off with the honorable mentions. First off, anything by Chuck Palahniuk, I think that's how you say his name, minus Fight Club. I've read 4 of his books. Fight Club is the only one that I've ever actually thought was any good. I've read Invisible Monsters, Choke, which I fucking loathe, and Haunted. He doesn't do it for me. I don't know how anybody enjoys this. A lot of it just seems like shock and schlock, which if you're into that, I guess that's fine, but it's just not anything that I find any enjoyment in reading. I actually do like Fight Club. But all the rest of them that I've read, I mean, I'm done trying to read his books. I can't do it. They're just not for me. Next up, number 2 in our honorable mentions, A Supposedly Fun Thing I'll Never Do Again by David Foster Wallace. I'm a fan of David Foster Wallace, especially his fiction. I've read Girl with Curious Hair, which is a bunch of short stories of his. I really enjoyed that. I tried to read Infinite Jest, but it was on my e-reader, and flipping back and forth to the appendix, it like wigged my e-reader out, so I couldn't actually like get through that one. I have a physical copy. One day I'll break that tome open and actually read it. And I had heard a lot about this collection of essays and that it's really good. The essay that the title is based off of is about his experience on a Carnival cruise, which sounds great. I grew up right outside of Springfield, Illinois. I've gone to the Illinois State Fair more times than I can count. And he has a story in there about how he goes to the State Fair and his experience with that. I was really excited to read that. Don't get me wrong. I think that a lot of these essays in here are very interesting. He starts it off with one about tennis, which I think is really interesting and cool. He has one about David Lynch. I'm a big David Lynch fan. I liked that one. Both of the other ones that I talked about I thought were really interesting. It's just that I felt like he would make a point and then he just kept going. And it just kind of felt like he kept circling back around to the point that he already made. So dense. There's no denying that David Foster Wallace is a very smart guy. But, man, it was a struggle to get through a lot of these. I just don't think that I will ever read any more of his essays. It was just, I couldn't do it. And number 3, the final one on our honorable mentions list, The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. This book was everywhere when it came out. I mean, it was on all the top lists, you know. I guarantee you I could go to any thrift store in America right now and find a copy of this goddamn book. It was so popular. Everybody was reading it. I picked it up and read it, and I could not have found it more dull. Every character in this book I could not stand. There's nothing that I found likable about any one of them. And the story itself just fell completely flat for me. I don't understand what the hype is around that book or why everybody just loved it. Not my cup of tea at all. Okay, so let's get into my actual top 5. These aren't in any order. It's not like one was a bigger disappointment than the other. These are just 5 books that I was really hyped up and excited to read, and they didn't scratch that itch. First up, we have Annihilation / the Southern Reach trilogy. Maybe I'm cheating with that, including 3 books, but I don't care. I'm a big fan of the movie Annihilation, and I had seen the movie before I read the book. And I love the movie. I think it's fucking awesome. I had seen a lot of people talk about how good this book trilogy is and how they really like it. That was not my experience. The first book I thought was good enough. It kept my interest enough that I wanted to keep reading it. The second book takes a screeching halt in every aspect, and it is so boring. I can't believe I finished it. I honestly cannot believe that I finished it. I just could not get into it. I honestly couldn't even really tell you what the second one is about. I was so bored out of my mind that I think I just blacked it out of my memory. And the third book, I think the third book is probably the best one of the 3. I enjoyed that one probably more than 1 and 2. But I think just as a whole, it just did not do it for me. I was really excited. Again, I love the movie. Just go watch the movie. That's my recommendation. I just don't think that it matches the movie in quality. I think this is one of those rare cases where the movie is actually better. Okay, so fourth on the list, Small Gods. I've never read any Discworld. This is my first entry, and I picked it because everybody talks about how great it is, and that it's like it's the best one in the Discworld series, and everybody agrees on that. It's the best one. It's not just great as a Discworld book, it's great as just a fantasy book in general. So I decided, okay, if this is going to be my entry, I should read the best one because I don't want to get stuck reading a bad one. And if I like this enough, then I'll read other Discworld books. It didn't click for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and my taste, but I didn't hate it. I just didn't think that it really did anything that interesting. I did find myself getting kind of bored at times. I didn't really connect with any of the characters besides the god, the turtle. He was funny. I mean, it is a funny book, and there are funny parts in it, and I enjoyed it enough, but I don't know. This is what the rest of Discworld books have to offer. I just don't know that Discworld's really going to be for me, but maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Sound off in the comments if I'm wrong. And there's other ones that if I don't like this one, maybe I'll like these other ones. I enjoyed the parts with Death or the Grim Reaper or whatever that character is. I thought those were pretty funny. But yeah, as a whole, just not for me. Number 3 on this list, Fledgling by Octavia Butler. I've never read any Octavia Butler. I heard that she's really good. I like vampire stories, especially ones that are a little more subversive and do something a little different. And I gotta say, this book starts out so strong. It is awesome. I was so into it. The whole first quarter of this book is just flawless. I loved it. And then I don't know what happened. It just completely nosedives and becomes the most boring and tedious thing to read. We're talking about vampire court trials and shit. Nothing of note happens really after about the first quarter. Maybe one thing, but it's not even that significant. It's it doesn't even matter to most of these characters. Really, nothing seems to matter. There's no real consequences for anything. The consequences don't seem to match what crimes have been committed and all. I don't know. I just thought this was so boring. I'm amazed I finished it, honestly. It just wasn't in it. And now I'm worried that the rest of her books are like this. I hear they're not. I've heard that this one maybe is one to avoid, but whatever. I mean, this was my entry. Again, beginning, I loved the beginning, but the rest of it sucked. Number 2. This one really stung because I was really excited about this and I love the genre and it's the godfather of the genre. It's Neuromancer by William Gibson. I'm a huge cyberpunk fan. I love it. Blade Runner is my shit. I love Blade Runner and the aesthetic. I think the cyberpunk game absolutely rocks. I love everything about it. Anytime there's a new cyberpunk thing out there and it's good, I'm all about it. And this is the book that everybody says created the genre. Everybody talks about how awesome this book is too. I was so excited to read this. And I don't know. I was confused a majority of the time, which seems to be the consensus of everybody, which I don't understand, that everybody seems to say oh, it's confusing as hell and I don't get it, but it's so great. How does that? I don't know. That's not how it works. It should make sense. And I understand, this is kind of like a hard sci-fi book where it's not going to hold your hand through it. But also when you just never explain what anything you're talking about actually is, and there's not a whole lot of context into that, it makes it really, really hard for me to understand exactly what it is I'm reading. I get confused about characters. The main character, Case, there's nothing to that character at all. He's so just shallow. There's just nothing there. I felt like a lot of the other characters were way more interesting, like Molly and Armitage. I mean, all of these other characters in this book are so much more interesting than our main character, which is not okay for me. Just a major letdown. And then once again, I've heard that some of the other ones are better, like Burning Chrome. Maybe I'll read it. I don't know. I can appreciate it for what it's done for the genre and everything there and the ideas that it creates. I just don't know that it's really that successful for me outside of that. And number 1 on the list of my 5 biggest book disappointments goes to Dune. I'm in the camp of this book bored the absolute hell out of me. I could not get into it. And it's not for a lack of not being able to understand what's going on, because I think that it does a good job of giving you the answers to questions you might have when it presents something that makes no sense to you. Ugh. just dull. Just too dull for me. Everybody talks about how this is like their favorite book. It's the greatest sci-fi book of all time. It's amazing. I don't know. I don't get it. I love the movie. The movie, and the second one came out today. The second one comes out today. I love the first one. I think it is awesome. I don't know. The book just doesn't excite me. It didn't excite me in any way. I don't get the hype. I am willing to try it again because it's been probably almost 10 years since I read it. Things have changed. I've read a lot of other things that are a little more challenging for me. Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace at the time. There's a lot of factors that could be going into why I wasn't that into it. But I feel like if you don't like something on the first read, you might not like it on the second. I don't know. And I also don't want to read it again and waste time if I end up not liking it. Still, it's a double-edged Chris knife. Isn't that what they use? It's a double-edged Chris knife. I am open to reading Dune again, but as of right now, I'm in the camp of this book is boring as hell, and I don't think that it's as good as everybody says it is. And I don't give a shit. You fight me. I don't care. And there we have it. The top 5 biggest disappointment books. But what did you think? Have you read any of these? Do you love any of these? Am I completely wrong on my opinion about any of these? I'm not wrong about anything. Sound off in the comments below. Tell me if I'm an idiot for not liking Dune or Neuromancer and that I should reread them. I'm not rereading Neuromancer. I know I don't like that book. Drop a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye.